Salutations, world. This is Matthew Garcia. I'm here today on behalf of my little brother, Raque Burkholder. First and foremost, I would like to suggest something to everybody that's listening. Have you ever heard of 6 degrees of separation? Where someone knows somebody that knows somebody that potentially knows you or has some type of affiliation to you or someone you know. That's me and Raque's situation. My little brother is innocent. How I know this is because I know the perpetrator of the crime. Raque is an innocent young man, a venerable young king, walking these penitentiaries, concrete floors, not complaining, albeit in pain, trying to do something to uplift other people. But I'm here next to him on a consistent basis, watching him cry. And in some instances, I'm crying with him because he's innocent. And no one's reaching out to help. A lot of people know these injustices and this miscarriage of justice exists. And yet it's taken this man 20-some years to even be heard on a podcast, thanks to our brother Mark. Raque is a very brilliant, a very philanthropic soul, trying to assist, especially me personally, with this Real Rap program. He always has something to offer that's extremely beneficial. And again, the young man is like my hero, because it's hard to do the right thing when you have a burden of guilt on you that you don't deserve. Not to say that we are going against the qadr of God, the decree of God, but Raque is innocent. I'm here to say that he deserves some ears. He deserves some hearts to be open to try to help this young man fight to get home to his family that loves him dearly. I've been in visiting rooms with him. I watched his mother embrace him tightly, his nieces and nephews not wanting to relinquish their hug from him, almost being stripped away from him, pulled away from him aggressively because they love him so much and they don't want to leave him here, just like many other individuals. Raque is a deserving man to be heard, to be felt, and to be helped. I hope you guys listen to his story. I hope you guys want to do something about it. Please help Raque. Thank you very much.
I didn't realize who you were though until she sent these pictures. I watched your thing on Matt's page though, and yours was always like I stopped and like watched because you had that I forgot how you opened up, like you know how you opened up. You're
but I'm learning like because like alright, for like naturally I'm a shy and reserved person. I'm quiet spoken.
So am I.
And I ain't got no time to be quiet and reserved when my life is at stake. Right. So I had to come outside my comfort zone and do things that I wouldn't do and try to do something different. So I know probably a lot of my videos in the beginning was like, damn, like he's awkward, I stutter, I drag my words, but I got something to say and I don't want to die in jail. So even if I'm awkward or even if I stutter or even if I don't want to die in jail, can't nobody refute my facts. So like I put videos up every week and not once has anybody ever said, hold up bro, you did that, and I know you did that because can't nobody say that. So like I'm just hoping that when people see it, the more people see it, then maybe somebody will help, and if not, man, at least I got my story out there, and I'm not just sitting in here not doing nothing, trying to advocate for myself. And that'd be my goal. Like I just don't want to sit in here and die. I just like a lot of people just sit in here and work these jobs and eat food and their family love them, get visits, and they don't do nothing like outside the box to try to help themselves, the courts is gonna be the courts. They gonna agree with you or not. But what really makes a difference is public support. If you could find a way to get some public support, then maybe you'll have a better chance. And that's my whole goal. Is I'm in the courts, but I'm not gonna let that only be the thing. I want to do everything I could possibly do. So where at the end of the day, if anything was ever to happen or anything was to ever, and I was stuck in here, I could at least lie down at night and say I tried everything that everything I could to try to free myself, and it just wasn't written for me. So now I'm gonna just help somebody else. But that's like my goal in life, and that's Matt's goal also, to help others where they need to be helped, and we try to be what we want in our lives. So if we sitting here asking for help all the time, then why are we sitting here and not helping others? So anything that I could do to help anybody in here, out there, I try to do that expeditiously, because I would want somebody to do that for me also. And if I can't find a person that'll help me out specifically, at least I can help a bunch of other people out with their needs, and hopefully karma will come back around and I'll receive everything I'm giving out. So that's my whole thing in life in general. And
it's a group effort.
Years. Yeah, especially after 20 years just sitting here, man. It's like I'm getting old. All I see is death around me. All my friends are dying. Everybody around me, like, you just in jail and you see every day somebody get sick and just die, or somebody like lose their mom, or somebody lose their dad. And it's like my family getting older, man. I sit there, my nieces, they growing up, and it's like I'm seeing the world pass me by for something that I should not be in here to see that. But I'm here for a reason, but I need to be home.
Yeah.
And jail was kind of good for me, because I was raised in here. I grew into a man, but I don't deserve to be here, and I don't deserve to die in here. And that's the story I want to say.
That's a lot of people.
Get out there. Yeah.
Yeah. The sad thing is that's a lot of people's stories, but the majority of them, you know, they don't even try to use their voice. And it'll be like 10, 15, sometimes even 20 years later where they'll say, is there anything I can do? Like, why? You know, you gotta hit the ground running once you first hit the ground. How much time do you have in?
I got 20 years in.
Wow.
And I've been fighting my case legally the whole 20 years.
So you're not time barred?
No. I just put a PCRA in right now for some new evidence. I got a December court date, but that might get pushed back until like it gets solidified, because it's not inside of a courtroom yet. But I'm still fighting. But a lot of times, brother, when they lock us up, everybody that I know that's innocent is they came in when they was kids. They was 19, 20, 18. And it's an understanding behind that. It's a purpose behind that, because this system is working, and it's working well. So what they do is they take a young child off the streets. And I was 19, I speak about myself. They take me off the street and they say, you got this homicide. I don't know nothing, how to do nothing. And it angers me. So then when I get a life sentence, instead of going to the law library, instead of fighting and buckling down, I act out, because that's what a child does. He gets frustrated when he can't, when you don't understand him and you don't want to listen to him, and y'all don't understand I'm innocent and I shouldn't be here. So I acted out for years, and that hampered me also, but that's the goal. That's what most of us do. That's why they won't throw a homicide on somebody that's 35, 40 years old, because they know that they're going to be patient, they're going to sit there, and they're going to fight them tooth and nail. We don't know how to do none of that, so they get us in our in the adolescence / we just coming into man stage where we think we grown, and that's the stage where you make impulse decisions and you don't really sit back and think and see the whole board. So they banking on you not doing what you're supposed to do, going upstate and stabbing and fighting and getting high instead of fighting your case. Then 20 years later, you like, yo, I'm innocent. What can I do?
Right.
So you start trying to fight. So I don't fault a person for doing that, because I understand.
Oh no, I'm not saying it for that reason, because I was the same way. I remember the old heads telling me, get in the law library, and I'm like, for what?
Like,
and then it's you hear somebody say, you know, the courts did this, and it's like, well, dang, they did that to me too. They're not supposed to do that. And then you start to learn, dang, I had constitutional rights. These didn't apply to me for some reason. But then by that time, it's beyond that 1 year time limit for most people.
Yes.
I mean, who can learn the law within that 1 year? That 1 year transition.
Yeah, especially now, and you in the transition where you get moved from jail to jail before you stable. And in order for you to become a lawyer, you got to get at least 4 years of college. They want graduate school, so they fully understand the system is working. They fully understand a year is not enough time, but it's enough time for you not to super curve plane and change it. But they fully understand a year is not enough time, and then they would sit there and say, "We know you innocent," or "We understand, but you should have did this 5 months ago." God, you like, oh, you serious?
That's in my my appeal. Yeah. If you look up my federal HABE. Because when I first got to jail, it was a jailhouse lawyer who was like, like, "How I'll help you." Filed a PCRA, went before the same judge. Of course, she dismissed it, and all my claim was I should have been entitled to triple RI. Even you know, the judge, you said I would be able to, but just not at that time. And then you guys never brought me down. She denied it, and then I started studying the law. Then I filed my own PCRA. She denied it now as untimely. I took it all the way to the federal courts, and he even said, though you have a non-waivable issue, and it looks like you certainly were entitled to triple RI, you are untimely.
Yeah, and it don't make sense, and it's like it don't make sense, and it's like, well, y'all know, like it don't make sense. Like for example, with my case specifically, so they got 2 eyewitnesses that say that.
What county is this?
Philadelphia. So they got 2 eyewitnesses that say, "I seen this person shoot that person. The only way I seen him is when he walked over to him, kicked him, shot him 2 times in his back, and then ran off." Okay. Look at the paperwork. The medical examiner. This person was not shot at a range closer to 5 feet. Hold up. He was shot from across the street? All the physical evidence, the shell cases, everything across the street. The medical examiner, this person was never shot in his back. So hold up, you mean to tell me your 2 eyewitnesses to this crime said they only seen me when I walked over to him and shot him twice in his back, and we could prove factually that this person was never shot in his back and never shot at a close range. So that proves that you knowingly put witnesses on a stand alive.
You're talking about, if you're in 20 years, this is 20 years ago. This is back when Philadelphia was at its pinnacle of corruption.
At its height.
Yeah.
And even my assistant district attorney, Bridget Kern, she's responsible for Christopher Williams, Theopolis Wilson, and for Anthony Wright. These boys are home because of the things she was doing, and she has this consistent pattern. Her pattern is, you got DNA evidence, I'm gonna refute that. You got scientific evidence, like with Anthony Wright. Yeah, that DNA evidence is wrong. He beat the case. They paid him, but she tried to fight him and keep him in jail. With Christopher Williams, the way y'all murdered this person, y'all threw him out the van. And you're like, no, the evidence shows that he was never murdered in this fashion. But I say he was. They beat that case. They home. So this is her thing with me. You shot him in his back. That's the only way my witnesses seen your face. But this person was never shot in his back. So if this person was never shot in his back, your witnesses never seen nobody's face, right? Oh yeah. Well, I'm just rock with that, and that's how they do it. And if you might get home, but it may take me longer to get home, or I might not never get home, and that's the chance that they take, like, because they don't have no punishment. So everything is well, I did it as a DA, so I was doing my job, so I can't get no punishment. I get fired, but it's nothing. So it's nothing that's gonna prevent them from doing it to whoever, because they just want to win a case, and they want you to see how hard you're going to fight to get out. And they know 90% of us would never fight hard to get out. We'll just sit in here and complain instead of try to do something. And it's bad because the system works. I'm telling you, it's not a game. The system works. And it's built in a way that it's built to hold people down. And
it's a system.
It's usually the ignorant and the less fortunate that it holds down, because we don't got the $100,000 to pay for the lawyers. And we don't got the wherewithal to go to the law library and figure it out on our own. And a lot of times we we take from each other too. So I may know how to fight a case, but then I come and ask you for help, and you say, well, give me $300 on my Cash App, and I'll help you out. If not, I can't do nothing for you. You're like, damn, brother, I'm telling you, I'm innocent. I don't want to die in jail. Like, you ain't gonna help. Like, so like we exploit each other also, man. Yeah, so
that's how I started learning the law, by taking people's cases for free, pro bono. But I would always say, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to learn it if you're willing to let me do it. And I was able to get a few people out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who are just greedy. But then I don't really fault them, because if you get to know their stories, that's the way they were just brought up. They don't. For sure. They know what it's like to have nothing. They need something. Yeah. And they don't know who or how to take it or get it.
Yeah. For sure.
We need to be unified, like this, the system that's oppressing us.
Yeah. And it's for sure, it's working, and it's working, Mark. And I know you see it, and I know you know it's working, and it pains me to understand that it's working, and it also pains me how we'll stand in each other way, and help them do what they do to us, and it's just a bad situation all around the board, and that's why we gotta fight to get out, man, so we could do what we need to do to help each other, man. Because there's people like you, it's people like Matt, it's people like JR, it's people like that's really trying to help, but they gotta help themselves first. Like, a person can't help until they can help themselves, and if they can't be in a situation and fighting to get home, and then turn all their energy on you, but by the blessing of God, that's what Matt did. He turned most of his energy on me because he know I'm innocent, and he was like, brother, it's things that I need to do for myself that I'm doing for you, and I hope you appreciate it. And I do, man. Every day I tell him I appreciate it. I show him my actions, I appreciate it, because I fight for him too, man. But
Matt doesn't just, here together. He wouldn't just say, this person's innocent. And I mean, I appreciate that, because I know not everybody's innocent. I believe, people certainly do deserve second chances. But when you're fighting, when you're saying, hold the press, I'm actually innocent, people should stop the press. They should listen. You want to explain a little bit on the details? Like, you went through trial.
Yes. Without saying names or getting anybody in any hot water, which I shouldn't care about, but I do care about, because I know the system that I'm in. So it began. I was 19. I came home from a juvenile facility called Newcastle. They wanted me to go to college, but I wanted to go home to my mom. I'm like, I want to go home. I don't want to stay out here and go to college. So I come home. So I used to sell drugs. I'm not innocent of that. So I go back around the neighborhood, see my girlfriend, and the block that I used to be on is ran by some other guys, and they asking questions like, bro, what you doing out here? I'm like, go ahead. I'm enrolled in college, community college for nerds, and at this time, I'm like, bro, go ahead. I'm not out here for that. I'm out here to see my folks. So by them keep seeing me out there, it create an aggression, because it created a place of uncertainty in their heart, like he out here to try to get it back. So we had a fight, and we left, and that was that. I seen this person out the neighborhood, we squashed it, but inside the neighborhood it wasn't squashed. So 3 weeks after that fight, this person ended up getting murdered. And when this person got murdered, it was a female around there that I never treated well. I was conceited, I had long hair, I never treated well. I was wrong for that. But she used this opportunity to say, oh, I know who did it. It was this half black, half Puerto Rican. It's specifically how she said it too in her statement. Half black, half Puerto Rican fake tough guy named Raque that did it. And he did it like this. I seen him walk over to him, shoot him 2 times in his back. And there was another witness that was in the window that I don't know what this person had against me or not, but he coupled that. He parroted that, and he said, yeah, it was him, and I seen him walk over to him, shoot him 2 times in his back, and run off. And there was other witnesses that said that they seen somebody who looked like me, resembled me, it could have been me, but those are the 2 witnesses that sent me to jail for the rest of my life.
Do you know what the detectives that took the affidavits or questions from witnesses?
Detective Spotwood Micah Spotwood, he was one of the detectives. I heard he got into some trouble, but not
Yeah, isn't he?
no
That name
major
sounds
trouble.
familiar.
Yeah. Micah Spotwood, he was taking the statements. I heard he got into some trouble, but not in too much trouble, enough for them to review, not like pits or anything. But it was my DA that was the one that really got in trouble because she was knowingly putting these witnesses on the stand to lie.
Yeah.
And so they took this evidence, and when they took this evidence, knowing that the autopsy doctor was going to refute it and say this person wasn't killed in the manner that y'all said he was killed, so we know that these witnesses couldn't have been telling the truth, and they still put him up there, and the judge let him go up there, and instead of saying, "Oh, we know this to be a lie," Jeffrey P. Meinhardt, instead of saying we know this to be a lie, he told my lawyer, we gonna let the jury decide. And we know what the jury is made up of regular people that don't know the law. So if you let them decide, they looking at if the government put it up, then it gotta be true, right? Because they wouldn't allow them to put it up there if it's not true, right? Even though the witnesses to say it'd be like, they'll tell them, well, just believe what you want and throw away what you want. It's up to you. Instead of telling them like, yo, they're lying. So they lied, and they sentenced me to life in prison. I was 19, I was a child. After that, I went upstate and I fought, and I was running around acting crazy. I was going through all the stages of grief, like I lost myself, and I couldn't understand how I could be sentenced.
That's what a lot of people went through, man. You were a child, and thrown into a world.
I just couldn't understand it. And I didn't know what to do. So I just acted out. I went to the hole. I was trying to get the seal to kill me. I didn't want to live.
I've been there too, bro. We've all been there. We all who've been in there have been through that. Well, with the time, I had a short sentence, and I didn't feel it, until I got a long sentence. But it's like we're initiated into something that other people can't understand.
Yeah. And it's different because the feelings, like, I don't know how I wake up every morning right now to this day, man, and I attribute that to my religion and me getting closer to my Lord and understanding that everything that's happened to me was supposed to happen to me in the way that it happened to me, and hopefully that it's written for me to come up out of this situation. But I went through years, 16, 15 years of being angry at everybody, and being angry at how can these people lie on me like this, and just be okay with it. Being angry every time I see my mother, and she just cry like she can't move. She want to move. My whole family moved out the city. Everybody lived down south. She won't move because she like, I'm not leaving my baby up here. He's not gonna die in jail with me up here. So it's like it not only do it tear me up, it tore my whole family apart, man.
My whole family. Mine too, man.
It tore my whole family apart, man. Like, people mad at me, and they mad, and my son 22, he's in the county right now for a robbery. He want to follow in some footsteps. That's a lie. He think that I was this guy, and I'm not this guy, and he don't understand what these people are going to do to him when they get him in here, and it's just a bad situation. And it's not even about me only, because I think about the victims' families also, and nobody never speaks about the feelings they go through when the case get overturned. So the government told these people, that's the man that killed your son. That guy right there, hate him for the rest of your life. And then they overturn the case. They don't go back to them and say, we sorry, we don't know what to say, we lied to you the whole time. So they know he lied to them. And then if something was to happen and something was to be overturned with my case, how are they going to feel? How are they going to live life? They may feel unsafe, like, damn, the guy who killed my son is still out here. He's running around, and I don't know if I'm safe. So it'll bring a whole crazy slew of feelings for them also. And it's not just about me, it's everybody. That's when a person lies, it destroys a whole family, and it destroys damn near a whole community, because now everybody been lied to and everybody gonna have feelings around this situation, and they not gonna understand it. Like they might feel how I felt, like, and it's gonna bring back a lot of old feelings for them also. And I feel for them, man, because now they walking through life hating me, and that's one thing that I hate. I want everybody to love me, 'cause I'm a nice person.
It's
They
a
hate
false
me.
hate.
They think I killed their son. They think I killed their son, and I ain't had nothing to do with nothing. And it just was an opportunist that lied on me, and the cops and the DA was like, all right, well, we gonna take your word. If you willing to come to court, all right, that's enough for us. We ain't gonna investigate. Just send them to jail. And if the DA and if the jury just say okay, then it's okay. We gonna figure it out later on. And that's how it went. And it's just bad, man. It's bad, man. And it creates problems, man, for you individually. It creates problems for your family as a whole. It creates feelings of self-worth, like low self-esteem. You get mental health issues. You think about suicide. You think about, well, since they think I'm a murderer, then I should just become one. But then that's not in you, so you don't do it. It's like, man, it just tear you up, man. And then you gotta fight and go through all that, and you still gotta grow into a man, and have morals, and try to figure out what's your code of ethics. Is it gonna be damaged or tarnished, or you gonna still stand on that which is correct? And that's the hardest thing about it, man, because you trying to figure out, you a child in prison, growing up around a bunch of men, a bunch of predators, a bunch of murderers, a bunch of whatever, and you gotta manage that and protect yourself at all costs, and knowing that you're innocent, and still grow and become a man, and still try to have a base set of morals about yourself that you won't break, and hopefully that you making the right decisions and you becoming a better man instead of a worse man. And it's like, so like, this whole situation is just bad for everybody, but I fought through it, and we're fighting through it, and my family is tight knit to where they love me, and they step out from, they do what they can, but they're not advocates in a way where they gonna go march down the block for me, but they're with me as much as they can be. And it's just like I was stolen, and I'm sitting in here, and I know I shouldn't be here. And
an innocent person acts differently from a guilty person. Like I said, after so long, a guilty person, they accept where they're at because they eventually accept their guilt. But you went a different route. You know what I mean? You clearly you went through the growing up in prison, having to grow up like that, and then made that transition to a man. That's a hard thing to do in there.
Yeah, and it's still hard every day. And I think about it like this: prison is a sufficient punishment for the guilty. Matter of fact, it's such a sufficient punishment for the guilty. Some people think it's too hard, and they want to lighten it because they feel like the guilty is getting too much prison time and getting too many bad things happening to them, mentally and physically. Now think about all that, and then think about being innocent in that situation.
Wow.
Like, and you sentenced to the worst prison sentence that they have, life, other than death. But in the state of Pennsylvania, they ain't killed nobody in 30, 40 years. But they tell you at 19 for something that you know you ain't do, for something that you could walk around in jail and say, yo, you killed who? No, you ain't do that. I know you didn't do that. And that's how me and Matt clicked. And it's like, whoa, like, and you just been in here 20 years, and it's like, imagine, like, how would a person walk around just knowing that, and how would a person act, and how would a person, like, what would a person do, and how would they maintain? And I don't even have those answers, and I live it every day. And I don't know how I wake up with a smile on my face. I don't know how I love and receive love. I don't know how I do none of these things, man, but it ain't break me as a person. Right. It just broke my family. It broke their hearts, man. It broke their hearts. It break my heart every day. But it really broke my family hearts, and the tears I see in their eyes, man. It's like, it hurts me more than me being in this situation alone. Just seeing them upset and mad, and my niece coming in here to visit me every week and don't never want to leave and cries when it's time for her to go. Because
how old's your niece?
She's 6. She's 6 years old, and she cry every time. She know it. She say, "Why my uncle in here? You ain't do nothing wrong. Just come on, just leave."
The courts, they don't see this side of this. The people don't see this side of this.
Yeah,
but you said the sentence to death would be worse. It's really not. When I was in there, I made the cognizant decision, if I were to ever to be sentenced again, I would want to be sentenced to death, because that's a guaranteed your rights to appeal. You know what I mean? When you have a death sentence, you get 2 attorneys to appeal. That's why wouldn't they give that to everyone or anyone else, or a life sentence? That's why a lot of death cases are overturned, because they had that assistance. Life without parole, that's sort of like, I mean, here, this is where,
and that's another thing why they don't want the death penalty. They trying to abolish the death penalty. And you were asking, well, why y'all want to abolish the death penalty now? Because a part of it is the monetary issues of them having to pay for these lawyers. They can't give you a public defender. They can't give you a bad lawyer and say, go ahead, figure it out, or do it on your own. Because a lot of us with life don't even get lawyers. A lot of times we file these pieces of our age and we ask for lawyers, and they say, no, do it on your own. And we literally are stuck doing it on our own. And just like you said, nobody's in here as lawyers. And then with me, it's so frustrating, because when I read my case, I get upset. And it angers me so much. I start sweating, and it's hard for me to read my case, but I know my case inside out. But that's a whole nother struggle. Like, I'm reading these lies, and I'm like, I gotta try to sift through these lies to find a way around them. So using their laws to say, oh, but y'all laws say that y'all not supposed to do this, and y'all did this, and it's just like, it's everything is stacked against this, man, and we just gotta fight. And that's why we appreciate people like you, and we appreciate anybody out there that's willing to help us and willing to see us for who we really are, and willing to stand with us. And because that's what we need. A lot of people just watch us from afar and choose not to help. But if everybody feel like, oh, I'm nobody, so my voice doesn't matter. But like I told my sister the other day, if 100 nobodies walk into a room, they become a somebody. They become a somebody.
Well
because
said.
at the end of the day, everybody has a voice. And if we use our voice in unison, then how they gonna shut us up? But if I'm the only one using my voice and you the only one using your voice, they can X us out quick fast. But if we using our voice in unison, even if we feel like we don't got a voice, and we just use it,
put it together,
say something, and put it together, it's people that came home all for that. Look at the Menendez brothers. Netflix videos.
Yeah,
people fighting for them. Yo, what is going on? Why are they still in there? Yeah, we know they did it. Yeah, we know they did that heinous crime. Yeah, but why y'all still got them in there? We want them home. Yeah. And they trying to figure a way to let them people out. Not saying that they should get out, but they trying to figure out a way. And that's the proof that it works. Like, a community of people works, a community of voices work. And that's what all we ask for, is a community of voices. Man, we sit here, man, we begging for help. We're like, yo, we innocent, or I'm innocent. I don't want to die in jail. I need help. I'm in pain. I am not okay. This is not a drill. Like, they are trying to kill us in here, and they want us to die, and that's our sentence, to die in here. But they give you little perks. They'll let you go on a visit. They'll let you get some food, some Pumas, so you can feel better about yourself. But none of that matter to me. What matters to me is I need my freedom. I don't need no money. I don't need none of that stuff that come with it. I need to be free, because I'm not supposed to be here. And I need to make a decision on how I want to live my life out there in the free world. And I need help doing that. And that's why I'm on here. And that's why I'm here, man. I'm begging for help, but...
Have you reached out to the Innocence Project or Exoneration?
I reached out to everybody. If I get anybody address, the Innocence Project, they wrote me like a year and a half ago saying that they want to accept my case, but it's going to take them like a year to get a volunteer or a lawyer.
Yeah, they use different firms.
Yeah. I've been waiting on the conviction integrity unit, Larry Krasner, to review my case for 4 years. They called my lawyer. I got a lawyer specifically for that stage, and they told him that we're going to review your case. Just be patient. It's people in front of you. I accept that. So every time I see somebody go home through the conviction integrity unit, I think, yes, maybe I'm next. Hopefully I'm next. And I'm hoping that nothing happens where they disband the unit or they vote Larry Krasner out, man. And that's crazy, because we sitting here hoping that a district attorney, think of the irony, a district attorney gets voted into office and we're prisoners. And his job is to arrest us. But we know we would rather be fairly treated, because we know prior there was no fairness in the system. It was we gonna hide the evidence, and the proof is
in Philadelphia, man.
It was a room. They found a room full of hidden evidence. Like, this is not nothing we just making up. It literally was a room full of hidden evidence. People, cases, 60, 70, 50, 40 years they've been in jail for something that they didn't do, and they just finding out.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on them seeing my innocence and reviewing it and helping me out. I got a piece on AN. It's a guy that's in one of these prisons that said that he know for sure I didn't do it, and he's willing to step forward. And hopefully that's the case. I don't know him, but I put it in, and hopefully he's telling the truth and they believe him, or at least investigate these claims, because I feel like if anybody was to look at it and clearly just take a peek at it and say, hold up, let's just look at what he's saying. The witnesses said that they seen him shoot him in the back, point blank range. The only way they seen him, he was never shot at blank, never shot at point blank range. This is facts. Their medical doctor said that. That's not what I'm saying. That's what their doctors are saying. If they could just look at that and say, oh, this is worthy to be reopened just on that. So,
but people don't understand. You're saying it, you know, because you understand it, but I get people email me all the time and they don't understand how this system works like that. So let me just explain it, because you're saying witnesses said they seen this happen, and people who are going to be watching or listening to this, they're going to say, well, that was a witness. That why would they lie? But in Philadelphia at that time, that's where the do not call list came about. That's where the judges, the district attorneys, and these police officers, the detectives, worked in unison to, for whatever reason, it'll never make sense to me. A conviction rate, money, I don't understand why, you know, people's lives had to be the catalyst for a conviction rate, for money. But that's what really happened in Philadelphia for years. I mean, it recently came out that it's happened, and Krasner, he's been trying to clean that up, filter out all those cases. But I mean, I know he's overwhelmed because it's just him, and he's fighting against he's fighting against the current. You know, the people with him. Go ahead.
And people don't understand, because people would rather see us die in prison because it's cheaper. This was a statement mentioned by somebody who was in the room with some judges and some people off record. This is how they feel about us. I know he may be innocent, but if he come home, we gotta pay him. So it's cheaper to let him die. What? Like, so it's not, like you said, it's like, it's not even about what's right and what's wrong. It's about how would I look if I let him home and we gotta pay him $5 million? How would the taxpayers feel about that? Or all these other things. And Larry not trying to hear none of that. He's fighting, like you said, against the current, where his own people are saying, why are you letting him out? He's not letting anybody out. He's just righting the wrongs. He's just righting the wrongs. This person should not be in jail. Why? Because he is innocent. Why is it hard for you to understand? Let this person out. Like, and that's what he's trying to get through to these people, and try to get through to these people. And he came up here and spoke to us, and he gave us the understanding where if you was a weak person, it would have crushed you, because he specifically said that they don't care about y'all. They don't care about y'all pills. They trying to find ways to stop you from even filing the pills. Like, they just want y'all to sit in jail. And the system is broken, and I don't know how to fix it on my own, but I'm gonna keep trying as best I can. And that's what we dealing with. And if he was to get out of office, it'd be another 20, 30, 40 years of corruption before somebody come and try to change it again. And it's just bad, because like you said, but the regular people don't understand. So to help the regular people understand, like, I'm somebody's son, I'm somebody's brother, I'm somebody's father. This is the face of an innocent man. I might not look like oh, that don't look like a person that they could just grab on the street and say that he committed a crime. That's what they did. And they kept me in here, and they're still holding me in here, and they don't want to let me out. And it could be anybody. So if you sit here watching and you thinking like, well, that's him, that's not me, it could be you next. Because nobody is free from somebody lying on them. So just like I wasn't doing nothing, I was enrolled in college to become a nurse. That's what I was trying to do with my life. I was trying to become a nurse. Yeah, I sold drugs. I was down Kensington selling drugs, and I'm sorry for that. But I was never murdering nobody. I never in my life shot anybody. I never wanted to hurt anybody. I can't even hurt somebody's feelings. When I argue with somebody, I don't even want to hurt their feelings. So I never was that person. I just want to make some money, and that's what gave them the opportunity to lie on me. So if anybody that's young watching this, don't give them an opportunity to lie, because I put myself in a situation where I was around the streets, and just by being around the streets, people will believe that you're a murderer, or people will believe that you did these type of things, and that's how they arrested me, and they had the opportunity to lie on me. So don't put yourself in a situation where anybody can have an opportunity to lie on you, because it can be any of us, and it will be any of us, and they will continue to do what they're doing until somebody stops them. And the only way we can stop them is by keep calling out their misdeeds, their wrong actions. That's wrong, y'all can't do that. That's wrong, y'all can't do that. And then they'll have to stop doing it. But if don't nobody speak on our plight, and don't nobody speak on the wrong that they're doing, then they just got the green light to keep doing it. And we can't even be mad at it, because they gonna do it, and they let it know like this is what it is, and they're not getting in trouble. They let 5 people home. They not sending them to jail. It's no 12 days back. They still got their 401ks. They still got their house. They still got their wife, their husband, their car. We the only ones that lose. So we gotta fight hard, and we gotta fight for each other, not against each other. And that's my message for everybody. Like, we gotta just start fighting for each other, because they gonna fight for each other. And if we don't fight for each other, then what do we have?
Yeah, they're like a gang, man. I mean, that's how I think of them. I mean, they could, Bloods, Crips, the fraternal order. I mean, they're the worst of
the gang. Think about it. Blue lives matter. So what does that mean? That means that if I do something wrong, they against me. They gonna lock me up. They gonna do what they supposed to do. If they brother right next to them do the same thing, murder, rape, homicide, stealing, sell drugs, blue lives matter. We're not telling on our own.
They're.
What type of mentality is that? That's gang mentality. If you wanted to be a cop, and you said, I'm gonna be a cop, I'm gonna lock the wrongdoers up no matter where it comes from, and then you see your brother do something wrong and you don't lock him up, you're not a cop. You're just a gang member and acting as a cop. Because if you got into this profession saying that I'm gonna right the wrong, and you see somebody doing wrong right next to you, you think Pitts was doing that for all them years without nobody knowing? They knew what he was doing, but they didn't check him on it.
They're all,
like you said,
culpable for that. I agree.
Yes.
I mean, that list of that should have included everybody, judges, district attorneys, and every cop, because you can't say that they did not know, and then they're still working there. If they're still working there and they're supposed to be culpable for all these offenses from their own fraternal order, then that's still not a system that's going to work. That's going to be justice. There's no justice in a system like that.
It's
corrupt.
It's none, and they fight. They fight tooth for nail for the rights of all of their brothers, even though some of their brothers was raped and stuff. Some of them brothers was murdering things, and they still fighting for them. They pay their bill, they pay their lawyers, and they fight hard for them. They fight harder for their own than we fight for our own. And that's kind of commendable, and I understand that, man. I respect that at the end of the day, but that's why we gotta fight just as hard for each other like they gonna fight. They don't hide it. They not hiding nothing they got going on. They doing it out in the open.
Look at the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd, and I'm only bringing that up because everybody knows that case and everybody can actually watch it. There was how many cops that stood on that, kneeled on this guy? You know what I mean? They stood with their brothers, and the one cop he's holding people back who are trying to save this guy. That's a gang. That's a gang with the power.
The mentality.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality. Like if we against everybody else and we gonna protect our own little matter what, that's the mentality of a gang, man. That's what we see in the streets. And you can't say that, because I'm a cop and I get paid to do it, that I'm not a gang. You're a paid gang man. And if you don't like being called a paid gang member, then tell the truth to your brothers. Tell the truth. When you see it wrong, you correct it wrong. Because until y'all start doing that, until we all start doing that, then we know better than them. And just like you said, everybody should have been held responsible. If you sit there and watch it, then you're responsible for it. You're called for. That's how the food. But that's not how it's gonna work. But for us individually, we just gotta protect ourselves and we gotta fight for each other, man, because they're winning and they're not holding any punches, and we gotta stand on our brothers' shoulders and become tall and fight for each other, because I'm innocent and I will die in jail unless I leave. And if I get out of prison, I will die in one of these steps.
It's your phone cut out, Raque. Your phone cut out. It's all right. At least you got it all out. You can hear me, right? At least you got it all out. At least most of it. So, you're starting to come back. You were starting to come back. It's like chopped up. But if if you want to do another one, or you got more to say, man, that was deep.
I told the truth. I ain't gotta gear my message towards nothing. I'm telling the truth, so you ain't gotta cut that out.
I can hear you now.
And I appreciate you.
Anytime, man. The Philly stories. I mean, because it really doesn't make sense. Actually, the people are making me mad because they're telling me, how is this even possible in your country, America? You guys had a do not call list and nobody did nothing. They still don't believe it. They think we're lying. But no, that's a real thing.